Diggs Nation.
Tonight on Peanut Butter Magic, we're discussing with my main man, Viddy. We're going to talk a lot with him tonight about all things indie. You know what I mean? Y'all won't miss this. Stay tuned.
It's the Peanut Butter Magic Show. It's the Peanut Butter Magic Show.
Welcome, everybody, to Peanut Butter Magic, the show where we talk about everything indie, from music, film, entertainment, you name it. We talk about it, we live it, we do it. I'm your host. My name is Sway Low. And with me, I got my main man, my right-hand man, Boss 10 is in the building. What's going on with you, boss?
What's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Everything is good. The Titans won. You know what I mean?
Again. They're on a roll.
I ain't mad at nobody.
All right, man.
How's everything with you?
Oh, doing pretty good. Just doing some remodeling around the house.
Okay.
Getting some stuff done.
Definitely.
I like that background. Is that your studio?
Yeah, that's my studio.
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
You should follow him on social media, man. Viddy's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun, man. He is. He's a good time.
I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. I got the light and everything. This is dope, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
All
man. Yeah, man. Definitely.
Viddy, welcome to the podcast, man. I'm really glad to have you.
It's an honor. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard a lot about you, so I'm looking forward to kind of diving into what you've got going on. I like the studio. I like the setups. We've got all kinds of questions for you. But the main question is that I want to start with is like, what kind of got you into this? Because I've heard that you started out on more of the rapper side, more of the performance side, and then you kind of switched over to producing lately. So I want to dive into that. So I guess you can just start from the beginning and tell us what got you into this.
All right, so I've been a rapper since I was about 6 years old. Rapping, dropping like mixtapes and stuff like that. My dad used to write rhymes for me and my brother and my sister. We were like it was three of us. It was like a trio. It was dope. It was like me, my sister, and my brother. We were a group, and he used to write rhymes for us. We were like little kids, and we would drop like mixtapes and everything. And we always we loved it. We fell in love with rap. You know, he was always a producer. He would have people like DMX and freaking AZ and a whole bunch of like people coming to the house that we didn't even know were as big as they were. You know what I'm saying? Like they would come to the house and be recording and stuff, and we would be like, you know what I'm saying? And so we just fell in love with music because it was like an everyday thing for us. So, you know, from being like about 6 years old all the way to high school, people known us be like just rap artists. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember my first grade teacher made me rap for the classroom. She was like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I said, "A rapper." And that was like very rare at the time. This was in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? For a little kid to say that. You know, if you rap, like, can we hear something? And they brought me up and I rapped for the whole class. Like, wow, like what? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And then from there on out, you know, fell in love with rap and just been doing that like forever.
Okay. What got you into producing? Where'd the switch over come from?
So I would always dabble in it, you know what I'm saying, because my dad did it. He was a producer, so I always knew how to make beats. You know what I'm saying? And one day I was just like in the studio, and my mom, she had bought me. My mom had bought me one of these M Audio, you know, midis, and you know when she got it for me, it sat for a whole year. I never used it because I was like still just stuck on the rap thing. So then one day I was like, you know what? Let me make a beat. And I was like in the studio just messing around, and I was sampling a record by SWV. It's called "That's What I Need." And while I was sampling it, we made the beat. My brother was recording it in the room. He was like, "Viddy, what's the name of this sample?" And I'm like, "Nah, I can't tell you that." You know what I'm saying? And I'm playing the beat, and then the next day I woke up in the morning with like 1 million views on it. They were like, "What? And then people hitting me in my DM like, "Oh, where's your website? We need beats. Where's the website? And I'm like, I only got one beat. Like, I don't, I'm not even a producer. Like, I don't understand what's going on. And then that right there kind of like launched my production career, because then I locked in after that. And I went in and I started making a bunch of beats. And I got better and better and better. It was like a lot of pressure too, because it was like one day you could not even be known as a producer, and then the next day you got thousands of people hitting you for beats. So I was like almost an amateur as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as like mix quality, everything. I had to learn all of that so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, does the fact that your father is Spunk Bigger, does that put pressure on you as far as from a creative standpoint? Do people judge you more harsh than they would if he wasn't your father?
Nah, not really, because so it's like, well, a lot of people, like where I come from, right? I'm from a city called Mount Vernon, Money Earning Mount Vernon. That's where like Heavy D is from, Pete Rock. You know, we got some legendary producers and stuff like that. So like, maybe the people that come from where I come from, the people that know my dad personally, or like that know the family and know like, oh yeah, Viddy, you gotta come hard because you know your Spunk is like. But a lot of people worldwide, they don't even really know the story.
Right.
So like that's why I'm glad to even be able to be on this platform to tell it, because a lot of people, like, I feel like Spunk Bigger got looked over for years. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Opposed to like Pete Rock and like other producers that came from this area and stuff like that. Like Spunk was doing this before you heard of like Kanye West and all of these producers and stuff. Like Spunk was sampling records from the, you know what I'm saying, from the DeBarges and the you know what I'm saying, the Four Tops and the Delphonics, all type of crazy stuff. That's what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's the pressure is not really, it's not a lot of pressure on me, because I feel like because a lot of people don't know the genuine story behind Spunk Bigger, like how you can see Swiss Beats used to shout him out like, yo, Spunk Bigger was my influence growing up.
Right.
Stuff like that. Yeah. But they don't know. A lot of people don't know. Now,
you call yourself, your sub moniker is the Sample King.
Yeah.
All right. Tell people where that came from.
All right. So just so I'm glad you asked that question. I love the question because I wanted to give this breakdown. A lot of people jump on my comments and they say all he doing is sample. All he can do is sample. That's not what it is. It's that I'm trying to brand myself as a specific type of producer, right? So it's not that I can't do originals. I have a bunch of original work. I like sampling. I like the roots. I like where we came from. Hip hop started on samples and beat breaks. Right. Even the breaks are samples that producers made beats out of. So you would see like 5 different samples in one to make a beat back in the day, right? So I grew up on that culture, and a lot of people don't understand that that's the culture that hip hop started in, and that's what I'm trying to bridge the gap. Yeah. So I'm trying to bring the old and mix it with the new. So I might put 808s and hi-hats and all the fast hats and trap snares with a Barry White sample, right? Absolutely. And that bridges the gap. So now the youth, they're like, oh, the 808s is going. But then somebody born in the 70s and the 60s are like, oh, that's Barry White. I grew up on that. So I'm trying to bridge the gap that way.
Yeah, like I remember our first conversation that you and I had. You was like, one thing that drew me to the track that I sent you was the fact that it had a couple samples in it that you really, really dug and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm recently just getting back into the whole sampling thing because of clearances and things of that sort. Have you had any issues in regards to getting your samples cleared?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I feel like it's always gonna always be that way. I feel like that is one of the things that made hip hop go in a whole different direction. Right. When it comes to publishing splits and stuff like that, you know, if you sample a Mariah Carey record, or Janet Jackson record or a Prince record, they're gonna want 90-something% publishing, and it's almost like, what do we do the record? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so what do we do? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then it's like, now you got artists from the South that's like, you know what? Screw all of that. We gonna make trap beats, and we ain't gonna sample no more. We gonna do all original stuff, and then how hip hop started is fading away because now it's like all the lyrical samples, soul stuff is going away, and then the trap, like in the 2000s, and the trap and 808s and that down south sound came into play, and there was no samples because of the publishing. I think because people don't want to pay that publishing, and then they feel like you're broke. Like we're making a record to give you all of the money. We might as well not do it.
Right. So how do you get around that? Do you just? This is my trick. Uh-huh.
This is my trick, and this is what I live by.
Uh-huh.
You cannot get sued for sampling records and putting it out. You only could be sued if you're making a bunch of money and you did not do the clearance and you didn't do the publishing split. So I believe that if you do a record, it blows up, they cannot take your fame away from you. And fame equals dollars. If you become famous off of a record, whether you get sued from it or not, you could put another record out afterwards with an original, but now that you have the following, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
I don't really, for me, I love music so much that it doesn't bother me I'll put the record out. If the record, perfect example is Capella Gray. He put out the record called Gyalis.
Uh-huh.
He didn't clear the sample. The record blows up. It becomes the biggest record on the East Coast.
Uh-huh.
And Capitol Records signs him. They cleared the sample because Capitol Records under Universal Republic, Cash Money, they own the rights to the juvenile sample, back that ass up with Heat or Gallus. So it's like they're gonna clear it now because they see that the record is a go. So they're gonna clear it. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in like just put the record out.
Yeah, that's
see what
me.
happens.
Absolutely.
So I don't believe in. I think that any independent artist, nobody should never focus on clearing samples out the gate. You clear a sample if your record is blowing up and it gets big, because then you could take it off the market and you could say, this record's getting big, bro. Like, we got to do some paperwork on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could see if you get it cleared. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, put the record out. See what happens. See if it blows up. If it blows up, they going to want to negotiate some work with you because you're going to make them some money.
Right.
Trust and believe. That's just what I go by. I just put it out.
Yeah, I live by that same philosophy also. You know,
definitely. That's it.
Definitely. Now, you're an indie artist, or are you signed, or what's your status?
Well, right now I'm working on a project. I just dropped a single with Capella Gray. It's a record called Outside.
It's nice.
I'm under contract right now as an artist. It's an indie contract. You know what I'm saying? Just shopping, trying to shop me to get in like a better situation. You know what I'm saying? So right now we're just working on material, like records, producing. And in the meantime, I'm producing records for artists. I just did a record with this producer named Cash Cobain. He produced the record with B Love's biggest single. He used a Mary sample on it. It's like a real big song in New York.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm still producing. I do the producing like solely right now, independently, and make money off of that for a living. Okay. And I'm signed as an artist, as a rap artist right now.
Gotcha.
Independently.
Now, do you encourage indie artists to get signed, or what's your take on being signed versus doing it on your own?
Take the major deal. If you love music. So this is how I look at it. I've been making music for over 20 years for free.
Right.
If I sign a deal right now, I don't even care what the terms look like. I make music for a living. It won't bother me.
Right.
I love music so much that I don't care what I gotta do. I like to make music. I would do music for the rest of my life if I had to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it when you're doing something you love, it don't feel like you're working. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, whatever, I'm not saying go and sign some crazy term, but I'm saying if you let's say you sign a 3-year term or a 2-year term or whatever, if you do good in that term, it's always up to, you can renegotiate when it comes back around.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you do good and they need you, then you can renegotiate the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I look at it. But if you've been making music as long as I have, man, what you got to lose? Like, you know what I'm saying? We've been making music for free. Imagine making music for 20 years and not making $1 off it.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we finally starting to see money like residually off of music after 20 something years. Like, you know, we making money off of social media now and off of selling beats and off of like, bro, I've been rapping my whole life. I never made money like that off of music. I had to work jobs just to support my craft.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I can actually make money doing what I love. You know what I'm saying? It won't affect me at all. See, and a lot of artists jump into this music stuff because they look like, oh, it's a bag, it's money involved. We're gonna get this bag. But now you're jumping into it for the wrong reason. So that's why you're more upset when your contract don't look right. You know what I'm saying? Or you're more upset because you did it for the money and now you feel like you're being jerked, but you don't love music.
Right.
So it's almost like a conflict of interest when you jump into the music like that. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't bother me at all.
Now, we had an interesting conversation on Thursday where you broke it down and you was like, yo, I'm getting paid off these reels. You know what I mean? You care to share some of the knowledge that you yeah, you know what I mean?
Definitely. How can I make it simple? So basically Instagram and Facebook, they're paying, even TikTok, they're paying artists or creatives to just post their content that they've been posting for years that they haven't been making money off. Now they're actually giving you the opportunity to make money every month. You know what I'm saying? So based on how much content you post and how many views you get within that month with all your videos combined, they pay you. You know what I'm saying? But let's say you get 100,000 or 800,000. It's a scale from like $0 to, let's say, $1,200. If you reach about 1 million, if you reach like 1 million views, you might get paid $800. I'm just making up a number.
Right.
But if you reach 5 million views, you get the total $1,200. With the scales from 0 to 1,200 that you can make every month, just posting videos, and your view count is what makes you your money, what determines how much money you get. So that's just how it goes. And the more consistent you are, the more you post, the more appealing videos you post that appeal to the mass, and you know what I'm saying, about the views you get, you can make some money. Make some money that you weren't making from your natural posts anyway. You weren't making, you know what I'm saying? If we were posting videos for the past 3 years just to post videos to possibly be seen by somebody, but now you can actually make money, why not?
Right. Now, do you have to own the videos? How does that work?
No. So, it's tricky. How can I say it? It's tricky, bro. So, you know, like if you sample records, right? Let's say like I post a lot of videos where I'm sampling music.
Right.
So, you know, like if let's say, how could I put this? Let's say, we're sampling a record, and let's say when you play a song, or you Shazam a song, or you say, what's the name of this song to your Siri, and it's registered. They can capture it through like the DSPs and everything. They know the song, right? Once you change the pitch of a record, it's no longer captured in the DSPs, or it's not in the system registered at that tempo or that pitch.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's not registered at that, so they don't register. So like if I go on live, right, I don't always go on live and show the process of me making the beat from the very beginning,
right?
Because I would have to actually play the regular sample at its regular tempo, and then the live would kick me off because they would be like, you're playing someone's content, right? But once I get it to where I sped it up to a pitch I wanted at, I could go live, right? Because now it doesn't register the actual song. But people still know the song because it might be a pitch up or a little faster. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that right there is like major.
Interesting. I'm learning, B. I am learning, Jack.
Yeah, that's major. That's very major right there, bro. Like when you they you know what I'm saying, it's not registered at a different tempo, so you could definitely take advantage of that when you posting your videos and stuff like that. Change it, and sometimes you might not even notice it. It might be a slight change.
Right.
Something like a sample might be sped up, but you won't even really notice it because it might be sped up for like
in the same key. Yeah.
Same key.
It's in the same key. Yeah. So you won't notice the little subtleties. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, are these live videos only, or can you edit, and then upload a completed video for the same reel process?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I jumped all the way into live. I'm so sorry. So the actual videos that I post, they are like that. They are me making the actual beat and showing the process of how I make the beat. Sometimes it's just me playing the beat or whatever. And then I play it, and then I post it, and then I get the views, and I see how people react to it. Sometimes I go on live. So sometimes when you go live, you could record clips out of your live and post them too as a video. As long as it's a real video, I think the reel gives you about 1 minute and 30 seconds now.
Okay.
As long as you post up a reel within that time, you can get paid for the content.
Wow.
Yeah. And you get about 150 videos within 30 days. So you get 30 days, basically a month, to make as much money as you can. And you could post 150 videos. And who posts 150 videos within 30 days? Unless you're like world star. I don't even post that many videos. Yeah.
I see.
You working out there.
They give you a fair shot. And the beauty in like Instagram, right? They go, this is the beautiful thing, right? You're guaranteed to make money. Like, that's the best thing. Like, you're guaranteed to make over $100 every time. Guaranteed. Because like you could make, let's say you average 1,000 views. Let's say you average just 1,000 views on a video.
Mm-hmm.
If you post 10 videos within 30 days, you're going to make 10,000 views. If you make 10,000 views overall, you're going to make $100.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's not a hard task. You know what I'm saying? That's not hard to do.
Absolutely.
On social media. Or even if you post 20 videos and each of them got 500 views.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make that $100. You know what I'm saying? So it's not life-changing, but it's something that you can feel like, all right.
Supplemental income. Yeah.
Yeah, it's passive. So it's coming in and you can be like, oh shit, I could just put this to my savings, or I can invest this back into some better equipment for the studio, or it could just be an investment for what you're making it off of. You know what I'm saying? So it's just money coming in. At least it's better than you not getting anything at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you promote these videos in any way? Like, is this something that you like? Do you run ads? Do you just upload and you rely on your followers?
I upload and rely on followers now. I don't run ads. Yeah. At one point I tried it, but it never really worked for me that much. Yeah. I tried to do ads on Instagram, but that ain't it. I think
Facebook ads work. And it's been my experience with Facebook ads. That's solid.
No, Facebook ads work.
Yeah, they definitely
No, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. But so that's why I was talking about Instagram. See, for me, Facebook, when I first went viral, it was on Facebook.
Okay.
So I didn't need the ads on Facebook because I got like 50,000 followers on Facebook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and so now that I went viral, I already have that following to where like, I think if someone shares a video of yours, if someone likes one of your videos, it automatically sends it to 15 of their friends, right? And if one of their 15 friends like it, it sends it to 15 of theirs. So that's how people go viral. When you post something and someone likes it or shares it, it shares to some of their friends on their page that's interested in the things that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's connected in a way where it's like that. Where that's how, like, if you post a video and you're like, how did he go? How you getting all these shares, right? That's because when someone else shares it, it goes to their followers, then someone shares it from their followers, and then it expands. And then you're like, who are all these people that I don't even know that's liking and sharing my videos and comment? That is the viral sensation when you start seeing people that you don't know.
Right. Because I started, dabbling in the reels since we last spoke. And I'm already seeing what it is that you're talking about in that regard. Like, it's definitely people that are not following me on social media.
Listen. Man. Reels is going to bring in all of the people that you're going to be like, this is what I've been missing the whole time.
Right.
They are actually giving artists the opportunity to brand themselves and broaden their fan bases without having to spend a bunch of money, without having to, rely on, people are getting scammed these days with all this weird stuff on the internet. People like, oh, you could pay this and I'll do this. You don't want to have to deal with that, right? You wish you could just post and it be organic, right? Reels makes it organic.
I'm telling you.
It's
it is
unbelievable and it's unreal. It's unreal, bro.
How does one qualify?
So being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
The more you post, they contact you and they say, "Oh, do you want to become a part of Reels Play?" Say yes, or you could say no. I mean, I would advise you to say yes because it's free income.
Right.
It's like you're still gonna post on your Facebook and your Instagram. You might as well say yes.
Right.
And and just let the views do it because one thing I do know is that you never know which video is gonna go.
Yeah.
You never know which. So we got this Kanye West stuff going on right now, and it's like viral around the world.
Yes.
But I had a video that I did of like Kanye West making a beat, and then I edited it, and I did that about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently reposted it, and it's viral right now because I understand the algorithm. I understand that he's trending. And I understand like everything is about Ye right now, what he's saying, what he's doing. So I said, you know what? Let me throw this video back up. I got 500,000 views on it right now within a week.
That's insane.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I understood that because I know the market. I understand like what's going on in the world. So it's almost like based on current events, what's trending. You can even take videos that's trending. It don't have to have you in it, and you can post it as a reel and still make money off of it.
That is crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
How long did it take?
Let's say we're having this interview, and you can ask me a question. I could be like, yeah, man, because Kanye West, he came to my house and he did this and he did that, and you're like, what? Why would Kanye West? And then we take that 10-second clip and we post it. And then we can make money off of just that 10-second clip.
Man.
Huh.
That's just how it is.
Huh. Now, I'm curious, though, because YouTube right now is kind of the
Shorts.
King of the castle, right? That's where everybody goes. Everyone goes to YouTube to watch videos. And you're not limited to 90 seconds. So, like when you've got a video that you have made of you producing a beat, do you try to keep it within that 90-second window, or do you make like a 5-minute video and then just advertise on the Reels and hope that traffic also leads to your YouTube page?
Well, to be honest, I haven't really been using my YouTube page like that because it's harder to build up.
Right.
Okay.
It's a little harder to build up. But I know YouTube just started this new thing, right? Because they're in competition with Reels now.
Right.
And it's called YouTube Shorts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you watch on your Instagram or your Facebook, you'll see they're doing these little short YouTube videos. Right? And it's just like a reel. But guess what? Instagram and Facebook, the reason why they're paying you to do reels is because they were in competition with TikTok. So TikTok is king of all of them. They started these short videos that get you paid. Gamers are playing Call of Duty, doing 15-second clips. He might snipe 5 people and like, he's the GOAT, and snipe 5 people and get 1 million views, and then he gets $300 off of just that one clip. You know what I'm saying? So now Instagram and Facebook, they want that. So they're like, we're going to pay people to post those videos on our platform, right? Mm-hmm. Now YouTube was like, no way. Facebook and Instagram is doing that. We're gonna do shorts, and we're going to pay them more than Facebook's paying. They're all in competition with the new wave that's happening. This is a new wave. All of them short 15-second videos and 10-second reels are making people money. And they're like, what? Because you got to think, it's still manipulation as far as social media go, because if a video is 5 seconds, 10 seconds, how many times is a person going to watch that? About 100 times.
Right. Absolutely.
20, 30 times because it's so short, right? Now, opposed to you putting up a 3-minute video, most of the time people ain't even going to watch the whole 3 minutes.
Right.
So you really think about Capella Gray's song called Gallus. That was the shortest hit in like the past 20 years, bro. That record was 1 minute and 45 seconds.
That's insane.
Right? So you got to think. Let's say you play the song and you go jump in the shower. Your shower might take like 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. You done played the song about 10 times in the shower.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This is not like a Bad Boy compilation album where the song was 4 minutes.
Right.
So you getting so many plays that you think the song didn't even end yet, and it played over already 3 times before you even realize, like, damn, it's on repeat. You know what I'm saying? So all of the shorts it's like it's once you understand the shorts, you'll be like, wow, this is genius. This is genius. The shorter the clip is, or the shorter the audio is, you get more stream count.
Now, do you have to qualify on YouTube? I heard criteria is a little tougher on YouTube than it is on like Facebook Reels.
Yeah, I think so because I haven't. Like I said, I don't really use it often, but they didn't ask me to become a I think, no matter of fact, I think someone recently told me that you got to have 1,000 followers on YouTube. So I know I have that, but I got to check it out.
Now, have you scaled like what pays the best as far as the different social media platforms?
The rumors are is that Facebook pays the best right now. You've heard that too?
I have, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that TikTok doesn't really pay much. I heard it, but a lot of people go viral on TikTok. It could be someone that like has never someone that could, let's say you just started your page 2 days ago, you could go viral and freaking gain hundreds of thousands of followers.
Period I, period up.
Yep, like that, right there, right? She was never a popular person until that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that it can happen like that. So absolutely. I guess that's probably why they don't pay as much, because it's like anybody can become famous on TikTok right now. Yeah. Doing anything.
Now, what's been your relationship with like the music streaming platform?
Well, so right now, I can't really say yet. I don't know because I haven't really dropped a lot of music on it because I'm under contract right now to drop this project. So I don't know yet. Yeah, I haven't been able to count numbers like right now. All right, so the record that I dropped with Capella, we did 20,000 streams on it. Right. But that's the only record I dropped this year. You know what I'm saying? So let's say if I drop like a multiple amounts of songs or if I drop an album, my stream count might be a lot more because it would be more consistent. So, because I know that all of these social platforms are going now off of consistency. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you guys do your podcast often and you keep doing it, you're going to gain more fans. Every single time you go out, more people are going to tap in.
Absolutely.
Now, growing up with your father already in the business, the game is now completely different than it was when you were growing up, right? Like it's completely different. So talking about this project that you've got working on, and you've only released, you said, the one song this year, but I'm sure that there are many more that are coming up in the future. Are you at all like nervous, I guess, because it is not the business that you grew up watching?
Well, only reason why I'm not nervous, I should be, but I'm not, only because I understand the business now. Like, I understand it. I understand what it is. I understand, like, you need to roll out. You want to do it the correct way. At least, you know what I'm saying? If you got people that's willing to invest and do certain things to help that record go. Like, right now, this record with Capella, we're going to re-release it and DJ Sus One, he just did a remix to it, like a remake, like you know how DJ Khaled does records. Mm-hmm. He might say DJ Khaled, so DJ Sus One just did it with this record and me and Capella. So we're working on a sample clearance right now for it, and we're working on a bunch of stuff behind it, working on getting the video shot, a bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I know that that's gonna take some time because they denied us on a sample clearance the first time around, right? Because they said they don't want any vulgar language or any derogatory language towards women, but I'm like, there's no derogatory language. So we went through the record a couple times and took out anything that could possibly mean that. And we've been waiting for a response. You know, it's just been back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Nate Dogg and Warren G used this sample, and they were like, freaking like cursing all over the place, bro. They were talking about guns. I know the record from front to back. I know that's one of my favorite samples of all time, right? So I'm thinking like, maybe it's because it's a different time that we're in. Because I'm like, Nate Dogg and Warren G Regulators is way more gangster than my record.
Oh yeah.
My record is like a we outside, fooling with the bros. Like it's like calm and it's for the ladies. That record was a clear black night. A clear white room. Warren G was on the street trying to like it's just different. It's like that shit is like gangster.
Right. You know what I mean?
So it gotta be
storytelling at its finest, nonetheless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Wow. Wow.
Definitely. But yeah, it's yeah. It changed. The industry changed a whole lot, man.
You think it's easier now or harder? I know getting money, as far as record sales are concerned, like you literally have to have 500 million streams to go platinum.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, listen, man. Listen, man. Since I witnessed it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I would see my dad come in the house with an $8,000 check.
Right.
$5,000, $10,000, $8,000, $6,000, $4,000. And I'd be like, what the what is this, bro? Like, is this like, and then you got your mom going to work, working 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was so crazy because but at that time, you got to think, the game is oversaturated with producers and artists now.
Yeah.
At that time when my dad was doing it,
you could name you knew all the producers.
Bro, he was like the only dude. Like I could literally say, and where I'm from, we was like one of the only group of people that had a studio in our house growing up.
Right.
Where we had everybody coming. I'm talking about a mill that Jay-Z signed. He got signed to a mill, used to be there. Freaking I can name so many people that Foxy Brown used to come to my house. It was like 14, bro, rapping. So it's like these people would come over because like that was the place you could go and record a record at and get a beat from at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So times changed so much. So like now we got like back in the day, my dad, he would get paid on the spot for his beats.
Right.
Now we don't do that. You got to send the beat out, hope he use it. If he do use it, then the label will come and contact you, and then you get a beat, you get the beat fee. Then you do the publishing split. Then you do all of that stuff, and you get your lawyer involved. And then, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot different. Before, back in the day, you would get, how much is this beat going to go for? 5,000? Here's a check. Boom. That's the beat. That's up front.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's no more up front. It's like, yo, do I really want this beat? Am I going to use it? You know what I'm saying? It's even the advances the labels are giving out is not even the same as back in the day.
Yep.
They don't give out the same advances unless you're a viral artist. And then I feel like they're taking a hit doing that too, because now you're signing viral artists that have no longevity. Yep. So it's up and down, bro. The industry changed a lot.
I spoke to an artist that told me that the label is just like, nah, we're not going to give you an advance. That's just not going to happen. But what we will do is XYZ ABC 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Yep, it's like they want you to have all of the groundwork done,
right?
So they won't have to invest as much into you,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like if you got the stream count, like let's look at like Ice Spice for example. I don't know what her situation is, but I'm sure she's signed now or she got it. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna have a deal.
Yeah.
Well, she's gonna get a major deal because she has one of the biggest records out. And has she been rapping for a long time? I doubt it.
Right.
Has she put in, you know what I'm saying, the time and, you know what I'm saying, where she know, you know what I'm saying, got the cadence, got the delivery, understand like her history, because you gotta remember, you go up on Flex, you go up on Sway, you go up on the way these pioneers, and they asking you certain questions, and you gotta know your history.
Yep, you do. You do.
You gotta know your history, the whole thing. This is a culture, like this is a real culture.
Absolutely.
I respect people that know their history. And I feel like I don't care what anyone say, man. Old or new, bro. You just got to know your history. Not saying you got to know it from front to back, but come on, bro. You got to know something.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Before you go, if you want to become a doctor, you got to know about the doctors that came before you. You got to do, you know what I'm saying? You got to do research papers on stuff that, you know, that every doctor had to do. You know what I'm saying? Some people come into this rap game and just say, I'm the best rapper alive, and you don't even know a Nas verse.
Right. Hadn't even heard of Nas.
I never even, you know what I'm saying? You don't know who Coogee Rap is. You know what I mean? And that right there is a disappointment to the culture.
It is.
And a lot of people like, go, Viddy, why you don't be listening to a lot of new artists? Because a lot of new artists don't respect and pay homage.
Right. Yep.
And I'm big on paying homage, and I'm a student first. I'm going to always say that and rep that. I'm a student first. That's why I am the way I am. And that's why I sample what I sample. And people ask, like, yo, how you so young and you sample? And I'm like, bro, I'm a product of hip hop.
Yep.
I'm a student first, and I learned it, and I pay homage. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I think that'll take you a long way in the music industry.
I agree. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, for sure. Like the game has changed so much, and just listening to artists that drop songs now, I feel like they've never listened to any hip hop ever. They just that because everybody's just repeating the same thing, and we're losing the sound that we grew up on.
Yo, listen, man. Yo, bro. It's if you listen, man, I was born in the era where I kind of caught, like, I'm still a part of the youth. I'm in the middle where It's like I'm not an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old, but I'm not a 45-year-old either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I got the best of both worlds. I was able to see the 90s
and
be a part of it, and be a part of it young because my dad was in it. But I'm still a person that was able to be, I could hang with the young kids and see what's going on now, and I see the difference. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's I believe, like, the people of the 90s, they love the 80s artists.
Yeah.
They loved them.
Mm-hmm.
They loved them. You feel me? Like, that's why they sampled their music. They loved the people in the 80s and the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So you got these people now, there's rappers that don't know who AZ is.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit kind of crazy right there, bro. Because now you got people that stepping in the room that's a celebrity. They might not even be an A-list celebrity. It could be a B, C. Yeah. But if they come stepping in the room and like Havoc, he had a major impact on hip hop.
Oh yeah.
But if you don't know, if you're an 18 or 19-year-old and you see Havoc come in the room and you treat him like shit because you don't know who he is, you like, yo, this dude, he's from Mobb Deep, bro. This dude produced
legendary.
Produce major records for even artists outside of Mobb Deep.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the youth wouldn't know that.
Right.
Without doing their history and their research and stuff like that. And I feel like that's the part where we go wrong, and it's a conflict because the older dudes are like, yo, F them, because they don't show no love, because what we did, we paved the way for you guys to become great. Like, the money that the guys made in the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that don't even compare to the money that they're making now. And we made the dudes that made music in the 90s and the 80s, they made it this way so that the youth could make even more money.
Yep.
And then you got these young cats, like, F them, like they started everything. It's just crazy, bro.
You know, and a lot of that has to do with region too, because, you know, I'm in the Nashville area now, but I did live in New York for 10 years. Lived in New Rochelle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there were a lot of artists when I was there. There were a lot of artists that would go platinum in New York that my friends out here never even heard of. You know what I mean? Like, hadn't heard their music, and vice versa. When I got to New York, there were people out there that hadn't heard of, like, 8 Ball and MJG, or, you know, different artists like that, Tila. You know, the artists that were really popping out here at the time. I moved there like mid-90s. So at that time, there were a lot of down south artists that not only were not being listened to, but cats didn't know. I remember when I first got to New York, they had a segment on Hot 97. It came on Monday nights called Out of New York, where they would play one record from out of New York. You know what I mean? It was like 7 o'clock. I remember hearing like an Ice-T record on there. I heard like maybe an 8 Ball and MJG record on there one night. It would be like somebody from the West Coast or down south or something along those lines. But for the most part, if you weren't like Eminem or Nelly or like Chingy at the time, someone Ludacris or Snoop Dogg, someone major across a global scale or at least a national scale, if you weren't one of those artists, New York was not fucking with you like that. They were not. And I saw the same thing happen out here when I came back to Tennessee. I saw the same trend where Nashville doesn't support a lot of Nashville artists per se. But they will support a lot of artists from the southern region, maybe the Memphis, the Atlanta, the Miami sound, you know, a lot of Texas, things of that nature. Even though they won't necessarily get behind their own unless you're like a Young Buck or someone along those lines. So it can be a regional thing as well. Cats was going platinum in New York that people just had not heard of out here. They're selling 1 million records out there.
Oh yeah, I didn't listen to Method Man until I got to college.
Right.
Like it just never, he never played on the radio, nothing. And then that's how I found Redman, and I was like, what have I been missing for years? And it just,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yo, bro, that's so crazy because I just made a post on my Facebook, and I said the people I never met before in my life got my music noticed, and don't never be mad at your friends for not supporting you.
Yeah.
I live by that. Like, it's like, you know, you can't expect people that know you or that walk to school with you, play basketball and sports and stuff with you, to be a fan or be as supportive as you, as someone that don't know who you are, or that is, you got to think, like, when people like what they can't get next to, or they can't feel and touch. If I could go outside and dap you up, you're not gonna be excited for me like a person that ain't gonna never see me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And people don't really understand it. They look at it the other way around, like, oh, this is my cousin. He's supposed to share my music. No, he's just gonna love you as your cousin.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Some will share, some won't. But a person that don't know you, they're gonna scream when they see you. And I'm like, oh my God, like, they look at you different because they don't know you. Yep. All they know is what they see on the internet, or, you know, what they hear on the radio. That's it.
Don't ask me for nothing either, though.
Say that again?
So don't ask me for nothing either. You ain't gonna share my work, don't ask me for no beats. You know what I mean? Don't ask me for no verse, don't ask me for no hook, don't ask me for, don't ask me. I can still love you without you know, acknowledging me for the work that I do. That's no issue. But then if you come to me and wanting me to share my craft with you, knowing that you're not a huge supporter of what it is that I do on the other end of that ain't no good.
Yeah, if you're asking for something, that means you actually like the work, right? Right. So that means that what's the problem with letting the world know that you like it?
Right. Absolutely.
You can't do that. There's some type of discrepancy.
Or pay me, and you ain't gotta let nobody know I did the work. Because fair exchange ain't robbery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I say all the time, if you don't want my logo on your shit, cut a check. Then I ain't gonna care. Because I ain't gonna be in my feelings about you not putting my logo on because you paid me. But if I give you the work for free, and then you still don't shout me out and let people know that I did the work, and because that's part of payment too. If I show you the love, show the love in return, so I can get work from people that follow you or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Most definitely, yeah. Like, listen, when I sell beats or people get beats from me, I leave a tag on there.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I don't even sell beats exclusively unless I'm dealing with label budgets.
Right.
And I got my lawyer involved, and he got to get the paperwork written up, and it's a check written out and published. I don't even exclusively sell beats to your average person.
Absolutely.
Because it and I learned this along the way, that it could actually like mess up opportunity for me. Like, let's say I make a beat, and someone's like, "Yo, I'll buy that beat exclusively," and I'm like, "All right, well, let's say he wants to buy it for $800 exclusively, and then outright he got it."
Right.
And then let's say I end up in a studio with freaking Drake, and he's like, "Yo, I want this beat," and I can't sell it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I messed up a whole opportunity. Like, so I don't do that. I don't do stuff like that unless I'm dealing with a label buddy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this person is signed in a major. Because then, you know what I'm saying? Then I feel like artists that's buying beats and stuff, it's better for you to lease it anyways to see what happens. The same way I'm putting it out as a sample, and I'm just saying, yo, let's see if it pops. It's the same thing as you leasing it. Let's say you lease a beat for $200, $300. You put it out. What if it don't pop? At least you didn't spend $10,000, $5,000, $3,000 on an exclusive, and then you lost $3,000 for the record not to do anything.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
always
saying?
say
So I look at it like it helps both ways.
Yeah,
It works both ways.
I always say you hire me. You don't buy the beat. You hire me. Yeah, and you pay me for my time. Is my philosophy with that. So depending on what I think my time is worth to you to make that track or whatever the case may be, that's what you're paying for. I'm creative because that's who I am. You know what I mean? I'm a creative guy. So I love the creative process. So I'm not necessarily charging you for that. But for me to sit down and construct something for you and take the time to actually make it happen, that's what you're paying me for.
Can I ask you a question?
So,
I saw this video. It was going kind of viral about producers, right? I wanted to just hear your intake on it. They were saying like, it's this one guy, right? He's an artist.
Yeah.
He said like he's known, he's popular. And he said, I don't believe that a producer needs to split a beat 50% between the artist and producer.
I saw that video. Yeah.
You seen that video?
Yeah.
He said, I think a producer needs to at least probably get about 10%. If I'm getting the beat placed and I'm the artist that's doing all the promo behind it, why do you need to get this 50% split? And why do I need? And I disagree. I don't like that because I feel like without music, there's no such thing as a song.
Right. I
without
agree.
the production, there's no song.
I agree.
People don't buy acapella records.
Right. You know what I mean? I agree with that.
It's never been a thing in history.
It helps narrate the story. You're right.
Exactly.
I agree with
music, without music, there's no such thing as a record.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't agree with that. I just think that they think that we're putting in less work and they got to put in more work. Nah, it's not that. It just goes that way. It just seems like that. You know what I tell people that think that way?
Mm-hmm.
You go and make the beat.
Right.
You should make the beat. And then, and you can knock all of the ways you think out the box.
Yep.
You can knock it all out the box and you can make the beat. You're like, damn, I can't make the beat. I need you. All right. So you gotta.
Absolutely.
What's your take on that?
The exact same. I think people should be paying these producers and splitting the royalties and things of that nature. I think it's only right because a lot of times producers aren't artists. So they don't really have a way to go out and market the track. They're not on stage. You know what I mean? Doing those types of things. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
that was it.
It takes the beat to get you on stage. Yeah, I mean, without that, there's no stage show. It all starts with a song, man. It all starts there. Anything that goes past the record.
Because every time we go and perform it, I'm not getting paid.
Yep. You know what I mean? You know? So pay the man. Just pay him. Do the royalties. You know what I mean? Give him a point or two on the record. Whatever it takes. Everything is negotiable, in my opinion. We can negotiate anything as far as that's concerned. But at least be willing to sit down at the negotiation table and do it.
Play my beat and make money for it, and then we can talk.
Absolutely.
I go on stage and play the beat, just like you go and record, just like you go and rap the song. We go do it separate ways, and I can play the beat and get the same amount of money. You're good.
Yep.
But we can't do that.
Right. Unless I'm out here making Khaled mixtapes. If we're doing that whole business, you know what I mean? That's. But again, I say everything is negotiable. Everything. Nothing is left off the negotiations table as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? More than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, but like not paying the producer is like being the singer in a band, right? And being like, well, I get 70% and you guys can split up 30 because I'm the singer.
I never looked at it like that. You are 100% right.
Yeah, because you're just as important. Like just because you're not there.
You are 100% right because they are the elements that put the music together, but they're doing it live.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Right, but just because you're not there, like you said, if I could be there, then I would be there, but I'm not, but you're still using the art that I created.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. I've never even thought of this conversation before because beats are just available online all the time, and I see the ad where you can purchase it or lease it, and I've never really understood what that meant until listening to you guys kind of talk about it right now, but I completely agree with you. I'm surprised that that's not commonplace. Yeah, I mean, I'm not an artist, so that's not my wheelhouse. But I am really surprised. I would have assumed that you were always involved in that conversation, and it's wild that you're not.
You know what I learned about a lot of people? They watch work ethic, and they see and they think like, he didn't really do nothing. That's why my comeback is always, so you get in here and do this beat. You know what I'm saying? Well, you get in here and do the beat then. And then we'll see how it comes out. Then they're struggling and they can't do it. So it's like, you got to understand, it is a gift to have an ear to produce records.
Absolutely.
It's a gift. It's not, I don't care if that beat took you 5 minutes to make. You can't focus on little things like that, because there's some people out here that get things fast and some people that sometimes, bro, I can knock a beat out in 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's me, right? Then I know people that take a whole day. But then I know some people, like I used to hear that Nas used to take weeks to write a rhyme, right? Yeah. And then I know people that go in the booth like Jay-Z and just go off the top of the head and punch in. So everybody's working process is different, right? Yeah. But it's still the same thing. You can't watch a person and be like, you made that beat, it took you 30 minutes and you charging me this. It don't matter how long it took me. This is what it costs. Absolutely. And I think people watch that and they, you know what I'm saying, they thinking like, oh nah, bro, it's not worth that because it took you didn't slave for it.
No, it's a skill set. It's a skill set.
It's a skill set. It takes a certain ear. Yep. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to mention too is one thing that it irks me a lot is that producers come to me and say, yo, Viddy, I want a beat like this. Can you do a beat like how look at how Drake's producer made this beat? I'm like, bro, like, how you come into a producer that has a sound and you want to beat like another producer? Right. And for me, that's just like, that's like going to Stop and Shop and saying, I want, y'all don't have the ShopRite eggs? Right. I'm not going, like, bro, I'm in Stop and Shop. Right. You come in the beat, you're not, you asking me for a sway beat and you in Viddy crib, like, go to sway. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't understand that, like, when people come and ask you to be like, bro, I'm branding myself to be myself, to sound like me. I don't want to be the producer that, like, yo, make me a Metro Boomin type of beat. Bro, go to YouTube and go and type in Metro Boomin type beat. Right. Straight up, though. Other than that, come to the producer, because, like, you got to think about it. Like, if someone comes to you, that means they've seen your work and they want to work with you, right? Mm-hmm. So why are you asking for a different work if you saw the work that you like and you coming to me? Why ask for a whole different style if that's not what he does? Right. Because you put people in compromising situations with that too. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. It's like all the time. Like I've listened to what you do. I know if I approach you for a track, I know what to expect from you. Exactly. Getting a track. You know what I mean? And that's like when we go, if we back in the day, right? If you go to Timberland, you know what sound you're gonna get. Mm-hmm. He branded a sound. Pharrell, he has a certain sound. Yep. The Heat Makers, they had a certain sound. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So certain producers, they brand Swiss Beats. He has a certain Just Blaze. All of these producers that I just named, I want to be a producer like that has a sound like, nah, we got to go to Viddy for this. We got this, we got to go to Viddy for it. Right? I want to be that producer. I don't want to fall in the line where it's like, you got 30 producers that all sound the same. And I'm falling in the line with them. And then it's like, those are all like the same producers. Like with this, they just getting placements. They just sending emails out and just hopefully getting play. I want to be that producer where you want to work with me. You want to come and sit down with me and we vibe and we really make a record, because I'm not just a beat maker. I'm a producer. I put records together with the artist. Right. Yeah, I mean, what advice would you give to like the singers, rappers, producers, you know, anybody talented? Brandon's a filmmaker. So anybody that wants to break into the business, what advice would you give to people that's looking for a breakthrough? Stay true to yourself. Some people may not believe in or see your vision or see what you see. And I feel like you should stick to what you see, because everybody's vision is unique. Everyone's vision is unique. Everyone sees things different. So I think that if you believe in something or you believe you have something, don't ever try to fit in or do things the way someone else's success works. Right. Because just because it works for that person doesn't mean it's for you. Absolutely. So I feel like follow your gut, chase your journey, Your destiny is your destiny. Go and stay in your lane. Do what you do. Build up your fan base because it's always somebody in this world that's gonna like what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
I say it all the time.
Find
Baby.
your fan base. Find your fan base.
There's a market for everybody. Everything. Everything. There's a market for everything. Especially these days, man, with the internet. It's a market for everything.
It's open. The door is open, bro. It's open. Just and oh yeah, and stay creative.
Yeah.
Be original. Stay creative. I'm a big risk taker. So I'm big on like, especially like when it comes to entertainment, like I'm down to take a chance. I'm down to do something that has never been done. And when you do things like that, it's innovative, and it can change the whole course of history. Like if it catches fire, you're like, oh, he created that. Like, remember when Timbaland was doing that beat stuff with his mouth on in his actual records? It was like, that's Timbaland. Like, he's the first to do that. You know what I'm saying? It was certain things that people did. Like, it was like, what? That's crazy.
Yep.
You know, look at T-Pain.
Yep.
With auto-tune. Like, he changed the game. He created a trend.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Even though, I think that, you know, for me, Zab and Roger was the first to, you know what I'm saying, on that type of vibe. But what's his name? He started that shit with the real auto-tune and pitch bending his voice and all that crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, they were willing to do something different, and I followed the way. And look what happened. It blew up. It became huge.
So tell the people where they can find you at, Viddy. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you can find me on every platform if you search up Viddy, Viddy on ONDA, not the. It's Viddy on the DA beat. Viddy on the beat. You could search that on any platform and you'll find me. Only one that's different in TikTok is Viddy on the beats with the S at the end. Okay.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, man, his platforms are a lot of fun. Let me tell you. You know what I mean? Viddy knows how to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Bring smiles to the faces and stuff like that. Even his written posts like sometimes are hilarious.
Oh man, I be going crazy. I love it. I grew up in a family where we love to debate. So a lot of people take it personal, but I'm just a debate. I like to debate and go back and forth and just have, you know, opinions, and I just love to do that. And a lot of people take it to heart, and they're like, "Oh, bro, you're crazy, and this and that, you're dumb, and this." I'm like, "Oh man."
But you always keep it light, though. Even when they do, you always keep it light with them. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I like too. You know, you
have to because it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's just, because I always tell people, man, this is my opinion. It's my opinion on things. If I go in there and I say something like, I agree with Kanye said about this or what he said about that, that's my opinion. It ain't that it's a fact.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? If somebody disagrees with me, I'm not gonna be mad at you. It's yours.
Right.
We all entitled to our own opinion on everything. And I feel like people get it confused when you speak with passion or conviction. And you say things with real, like, and it's felt. Like, if I say, I feel like I got the best ear of music right now, right? People like, somebody could respond with, look, you're crazy or something, bro. Something wrong with you. Nah, it ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm just confident, passionate about how that's just my opinion on how I feel. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Instead of someone viewing it as in, like, you're crazy or something wrong with you for thinking that, they don't understand that you can have the same thought process about your own work or be passionate about whatever and because for me that's motivation. When I think like that, it motivates me. When I move that way, when I'm confident and passionate, it just pushes me. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it. But everybody's entitled to their own opinions. I'm never mad at someone for saying otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I love it, man. I love it. You know what I mean? Any last words, boss?
Really, I'm just inspired by this conversation, man. It's brought up a lot of points that I've never really thought about. You know, a lot of stuff that Sway and I have talked about over the years, but like having another producer in here and talking about their experiences and their journeys and their highs and lows, I think that's something a lot of people can learn from. I've learned a lot. I'm, like I said a minute ago, I'm not an artist, so I'm out of that world. I stay behind the camera for the most part. So just getting some of that inside knowledge from you guys has It's been really cool. I really appreciate you being on the show today.
Oh man, thank you for having me. No, definitely. It's dope, man. It's a part of, my journey. I stopped by you guys' podcast, and when my thing blow up, y'all gonna be like, yo, listen, we was one of the first to get Viddy on the beat.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Hopefully.
Get the story going, and I love that. I love building up brands and stuff from the ground up. I love to see people's stories and be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like a clout chaser, or like, that's popular, I want to go with that. I'm not doing it. So I answer all my DMs.
Yep.
I hit people back when they hit me. I do these type of podcasts. I do it with all underground artists. I work with artists all the time that's underground, that's not really popular, all the time. I do all of that because I was once one of those people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We got to start from somewhere. You never know who's next.
Yeah, I mean, so there you have it, folks. Viddy on the beat, man. I appreciate you again, man, stopping through. Yeah, I mean, fuck with us, man. Yeah, I mean.
Thank you, man, for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Ain't no thing, man. Ain't no thing. We'll be talking soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. Holla.
Peace. So, final thoughts, boss?
Are we still on?
Yeah.
Final thoughts. I don't know, man. I really like I really liked the conversation when it got to talking about producers and kind of being left out of that financial conversation, because it really is just like you get online, you buy a beat. I've listened to multiple artists that we've worked with over the years that, let me just go grab this beat, and they buy it, whatever, channels they go through, and then it's done. And then they record the song, we shoot video, they'll go on stage. If they tour, they take that track with them. And then to learn that the person who produced that track they're out, they're done. They've made their couple $100, $50, whatever they sold that beat for, over the internet, and they're just done. And to hear that they're not treated like a member of, the writing staff, the person who put the song together. Like, I remember listening to a podcast where they had a couple of the guys from Aerosmith on there, and they were talking about how much money they make on tour. And the interviewer was like, "Oh, I thought you guys would, make a lot more money than that." And one of them was like, "Well, there's like, 5 of us or whatever, so we have to split that up." Right. And he went, "Oh, you guys actually split it up evenly?" And he said, well, yeah, of course, why wouldn't you?
Right.
And I was thinking, I've heard singers, talk about not splitting it up evenly because they're the front man. They're the one that everybody comes to see or whatever. Yeah. And to hear that also is continue on for the producer of the music, that's just insane.
And one thing I'm learning also, as I get deeper and deeper into the journey that I'm taking, is that the labels don't like these beats that people are putting on these beat websites in fear of running across somebody else who's used the same track. So there's still a market out there for, original OG producers. You know what I mean? There's a big market, especially from a label standpoint. They don't want these BeatStars beats. They don't want these beats that you rip off from YouTube. They don't want that shit.
Right.
They don't want it. So you still, at some point, it all goes back to the producers still. It still does. So, don't shit on us. You know what I mean? Show love. Spread that love. Because it's going to be a hard trip back. If you don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But and like Viddy was saying, if you don't want to pay what it costs to get a beat made, just make it yourself.
Yep.
Well, then we just won't have music anymore to play on the radio. Maybe we'll go back to bands.
Touché. I hope not. They bought all this damn equipment.
So I say, you don't need a band, call me.
Right. You know what I mean? But great interview, man. I thought that was very enlightening. We maybe talked a little longer than we normally do.
Yeah, but that's good. It was all good stuff.
Yeah.
It was all good stuff. It was very informal. Like I really did pick up a lot of things that I've never even thought about before. So
Yeah.
very excited.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that wraps up another edition of Peanut Butter Magic.
I'm glad to have Viddy on. Hope you guys liked it just as much as we did. Y'all stay tuned. See y'all next time.
It's the peanut butter magic.